Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I want to talk to you about Nova Luna. This is one of my personal favorite games that I really enjoy. It is a Grail game, so it's one of those games that's going to be that's I'm pretty sure out of print and very hard to get unless you do trades or find it in some obscure place. So Nova Luna is a game for 1 to 4 players. 20 to 30 minutes to play, and it's for ages 8 and up. So let's go ahead and see a little bit of an overview of the game. So this is a setup for for 2 players, and the goal of the game is to get rid of all of your player pieces before anybody else does. Now, the other way that this game could end, and you would have to be the victor, is if all of the tiles were taken and placed, and people still had player pieces, it is whoever has the less player pieces, whoever has the least of them, will be the winner. So that's the second condition. But usually in all of the games I've played, a player usually goes out with all their pieces. So this is how a turn works. So this being set up for like the start of a game, the player that will go is on this circular board. Whoever is the furthest back and on top of any other pieces. So this would be blue right now. So blue would have the option to take any 3 tiles in front of this moon token right here. So it would be the 4 orange, I think that's orange or red, red piece, or the yellow piece, or the blue piece. You'll have to pick one of those, and then once you pick one of those, you will move the moon token to one of those 3 spaces, and then move forward for however many spaces the tile says. So this would be 4 spaces, 1 space, 5 space, 5 spaces. Pretty self-explanatory. So, and you just move on down that track. So then you can kind of see if you take little steps, you might have more turns than other players. But but then sometimes you'll just get stuck with a freaking 7, and you'll have to move 7 spaces, and then someone will get a bunch of turns. So that is a turn where you go ahead and pick one of the 3 tiles in front of the moon token, and then the other player will go in clockwise fashion. Once you take a tile, you start making your own little supply. And you'll be placing your tiles orthogonally adjacent to other tiles. So first one you'll just place in front of you. Second one you'll have to place orthogonally adjacent around one of the sides of the tile. And then once you place it, you cannot move it. So that's just, you have to make sure you're picking up tiles that you will be able to use and that will work for you within the game. So the way you get rid of your personal player pieces is once a requirement is met on one of your tiles. So in this scenario, this 6 orange tile, or it's probably red. I think it's red. We're always going back and forth on that. But this 6 red tile needs 1 teal tile next to it. So I have 1 teal tile next to it. Orthogonally, can't be diagonally, always has to be orthogonally. And then I'd go grab one of my tokens, personal player pieces, and place it where I met the requirement. And that's how you get rid of your personal player pieces. And you'll keep going until all your player pieces are gone, or if all of the tiles are taken up, placed, and all players still have personal player pieces in their supplies. Now, as the game goes on, you will be taking more and more of these tiles. Once there is 2 or less, a player has the option to refill the board, and it's a pretty nice when you can be able to do that. But yeah, because you'll be taking all the tiles, and once you have that option to refill the board, you'll just be go ahead taking from the pile that's been shuffled and placing it, no in particular, just filling in all the spaces around the board, and then that player will then be able to take their turn. But you can always not choose to do that in case you have like one of the 2 or less pieces that are left is something that you want to use, but then you're giving the option to the next player to be able to use that ability. Now, once pieces are obviously being taken from the board, you can move faster. So like if this piece was gone and this is where the moon was, you'd be able to take the 4, 5, or the other 5. So that's how you can kind of see where once tiles are starting to be picked up, you can move faster and more. Just play it up straight up faster on the board. Sometimes you get screwed with like a 7, 6, and a 5, so you're going to be moving a lot. That's one of the things in the games where if you play your cards right, you see these like 2, 3s, and 1s, and then if you force players to where all of their options are just like 5s and 4s, or even 6s and 7s, you can get a lot of turns, or at least a couple turns. But that just, you gotta make sure you're not just trying to get a lot of turns, because someone could be getting less turns, but if they get their little personal setup working for them, they could be running out of their player pieces a lot faster. The tiles that have lesser numbers or lower numbers, they're nice, but they don't really get like these ones. That's just basically a color that you'd want for your personal tile setup, so you can get rid of your personal player pieces. But the larger ones are a lot easier. They always have a lot more of options. So if you just go options to, play your personal player pieces, so you can really set yourself up nicely to where, yeah, you might have not played a lot of your player pieces, but once you get one specific kind of tile, you might be able to play like 3 or 4 on a turn, and which is pretty awesome. I quite like this game, and it is quite a favorite in our collection. And once you learn how to play it, it's pretty fast. So yeah, that's pretty much the overview of Nova Luna. And like I said, this is a Grail game, so this will be a hard one to find. We got it in a BGG trade, and the person had to buy it from Germany. So we were trading them some pretty good stuff, and they were told as well, if you don't mind me getting Nova Luna in this fashion, and that being the only thing we trade for our I think it was like 2 or 3 games for this one. We were like, sure, we'd rather have games that we want than games that are just kind of sitting around that we don't want in our collection and aren't playing. We'd rather see them go to a new home and get played there. So yeah, this was a good trade, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. We played it with a friend that had a copy, and we were just super impressed and really enjoyed it. So yeah, again, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this was pretty informative. I'll go ahead and leave a BGG link at the description of this video. So hey, maybe someone else is tired of their Nova Luna copy and maybe want to trade it away, or you can go ahead and find where you can maybe get yourself a copy. But yeah, so again, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative. We'll see y'all next time. Toodles!